Okay, cool. So we're recording now. So we've decided, Rui and I have decided to do this to try and send out to all of you, because there's been a few of you that have had issues with the app that we sent out. So we sent out an email on Monday advising everyone to download the Load app. And then we've had a few emails with people who've had trouble logging onto it. So what we thought we'd do is just have a quick chat, and Rui can talk me through loading it onto my phone, and then that way you guys can follow it, and it'll be nice and easy for everyone to do. So Rui, do you want to just start by explaining the app and why we want everyone to do it?
So basically what this app does is an app that allows you to monitor all the training that you do. So every time you do any physical activity, you go on your phone and you track it. We'll go over how to track it in a minute. It's really simple. Once Stuart has downloaded it, then I can show you how to do that. It takes literally 1 minute to do, but all it does essentially is it then calculates how much you're doing acutely, which means short term, so like throughout the week, and then it compares it to how much you're doing, for example, over a period of, usually it's like 28 days, but it compares the difference in the ratios of the amount that you're doing and the intensities. That tells us whether you're doing enough to be at a decent level of performance, so to improve. If you're not doing enough, which can put you at risk of injury, or if you're doing too much, which can put you at risk of injury. So that will calculate a baseline of your current work. Basically, it helps me program better for you. So
it helps you understand what every athlete's done during the day.
Yes.
So you have an understanding.
So during this period, it's good during this period, but it's also good when they're actually returning to swimming, because if we go back to return to swimming and say, like, they're swimming a lot, they're with me a lot, like some of the older guys, but we don't actually know, unless we ask them, we don't know what they do throughout the day in school, etc. So we know what they do in pool, we know what they do with me. But say that they're doing PE and they're doing, say, cross country, their teacher's going to want them to work really, really hard. So their teacher's pulling them, or even if they play a different sport, for example, not many might do it. The older guys might specialize a bit more, but say the younger ones play more sports. Say they got football coach might want them to do really, really well, but obviously the swimming will want them to do, and everyone's pushing. So my job from an S&C perspective is look at the app, see what they're doing. How can I support this athlete be better?
So like knowledge is power. The more understanding you have of the whole collective, the better.
Yeah. So if they had like a really, really hard session of cross country during the day, and they've tracked it, and I know that because I've seen it on their phone, they've logged it. And if I'm planning the week ahead, or or say I've got a session planned for, say, tomorrow, I might look at that and go, I need to be aware, maybe I need to change the load for this session, make it a little bit more recovery, and don't push them as hard, so that then when they go into pool, their pool training will actually be better. So I'm not dragging them down, I'm helping them recover.
Trying to make it more specific to each person.
To each person, exactly, because they're all going to be doing different things. So if they're constantly logging, that tells me a little bit more about them. Right. During this period that, in quarantine, we're at home, people struggle to know, what should I do? How much should I do, etc. Am I doing the right things? Am I not? So this just helps me, in terms of workload, it's not going to be as much of a purpose. It will, but not as much as normal. It will be more for me to gain an understanding of the types of things that you're doing, a little bit of how much you're doing, but I'm not necessarily going to be comparing to what you normally do on a regular basis, because that's changed completely. I'm going to be comparing it to what I think you should be doing according to your current age, how much you normally would do in the pool, and then give you some sort of guidance on whether you're doing too much, whether you need to do a little bit less.
Great.
And it helps me also understand their perception of how hard, for example, our S&C sessions is. Because if one session, you might, if it's an easy session and I'm planning an easy session and I know you because I've been working with you for a while, and all of a sudden you put down that it's been really hard, then I'm thinking, why was today harder?
Can we just talk about how you want them to rate it? Like you're kind of describing hard. So, yes. We've had a conversation before. You want, in terms of rating, it's in how challenging you find the movement, not how physically exhausting you find the movement.
With this one, yeah. So typically, there's two ways that I always ask you guys to rate the session. Sometimes it's on uh, how hard the exercises are or how appropriate the exercises are. For example, if you're doing a glute bridge, is that going to be, once you get to rep number 10, is that really easy? Or are you struggling to meet that rep range that we set? Essentially, if in my head I'm programming and I want you to do 10 reps, but I only want you to be able to do 2 more if you had to, no more than that. If that's what I wanted, and then you said, oh, but I could do 10 more, then that level would be too easy for you, then you need to step it up. That's one way. With this one, it's a little bit different.
Okay.
This one is fatigue. So when you go on your phone, I know every time you go on the app, it's how fatigued are you and what is your perception of how hard that session was.
So again, like you're saying, you're having an understanding of how tired they are coming into your session from things they've done throughout the day. So you have an understanding of how
that will, that will also help. Yeah. And basically it tells me, they need to be using the same, the same sort of criteria every time. So it really is, because if they start changing, then it will all go. Yeah. So it's like, just go with it. Your 7 might be different to someone else's 7. It doesn't matter as long as you go by the same criteria every time for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go, if you think, and it'll tell you. So it'll rate you from 1 to 10. If we go through it now, and then I'll explain.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So should we go through loading the app?
Yeah.
So the first question we had was, when we went on the App Store, there's 2 load apps. So what you're looking for is the one there, the one with the blue line with the graph squiggle that goes through it. Yeah, that's correct?
That's the one, yeah.
All right, so so I'm now loading it up. So when I go on, hopefully my phone doesn't. All right, so I get a sign up or already a member. So I want to sign up to start up, yeah?
Sign up, yeah. I'm not sure what options, I don't know, sometimes some apps allow you to sign up.
So it's asked me to fill in my name and then my email address. Sorry, I apologize whilst I'm doing this as quick as I can.
Yeah, so that just the basics, signing up. The app is really easy to navigate. We've been doing it. Some of the sprinters are familiar with it. They've been logging. It's really easy.
All right. So I've logged in, and then if everyone can see,
that's the one. Yeah.
That's what's come up on my screen. Okay.
Brilliant. So from there, you're going to need to join a team.
Okay, so that's the teams part at the bottom. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Teams.
Okay. That's the one. Yeah. And
okay, so I've got the options to search for a team, add a team, or join a team.
Be the join. It'll be it'll be search for a team.
Okay.
And then say, for example, if you search Norwich Swan's performance, that'll be the performance squad. See if that one comes up. What we'll do is, if we put it in the email, what the name is, and then they can search it. Yeah. Go from there.
Is that working? Hang on.
We're live. Technicalities.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right, the lag of it all. I apologize. So we don't have like an invitation code or anything.
We will have a code to join.
Okay. Because on the join team, it asks for the.
Okay, so it might be so it might be easier that way. It might be easier if you click join team, and then.
Because I couldn't find it when I searched it.
Yeah. So obviously we'll be on it as coaches. We'll have a different code. Also gives the option to get physios in, etc. But we won't worry too much about that. So the athlete code, then I would send over to you. So if I give you this code now, what I'll do is I'll type it on the chat. and then you can put in the code.
Okay.
And this
Cool.
will be the code that we send out to everyone according to what team you're in.
Okay, cool. Is that caps locks or doesn't matter? Yeah.
No, so yeah, I think it's
Cool.
case sensitive. So yeah. So you put that in.
Riveting TV for everyone, or watching for everyone. There you go. Norwich. Okay. So I've got Norwich Swan performance that's come up at the top for everybody. It's hard to find the right angle, right?
Yeah, it's quite, yeah. But that will, yeah. So you literally join a team.
Okay.
As soon as you sign up, join a team.
So what we'll do is we'll send out the login for your squad to everybody, so then everybody can follow that, and that'll be the easiest way to join in. That will work well. Okay, so I've come on to like the common page.
Yeah, and so what you do then is if you click on journal, bottom.
So it's giving me a whole load of dates. Yeah.
My friend's
Oh, mine too. Yeah, so I've got a whole load of dates like of the week that's come up.
Yeah, perfect. So you just click on, so if you say we've just finished training today, like just now, then you'd go and log here where it says log, and you'd click it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so log session report injury. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. In terms of reporting injury, if you had an injury, you can click. We'll talk about that afterwards. If you go to log session now.
So I've got the top part is how hard was the session. So I can slide it along, and it gives me a description 1 to 10, like maximal session, very hard, light, very light. Yeah, that's it.
So
and then I can write how long it is.
Yeah. So you just do those two. Literally ask you how hard's the session, you rate it 1 to 10.
Do you want to talk about where it says what type of session? Do you want to just give people like a classification of, so like say if they went for a run, would that be?
Yeah. So that a run would be classed as conditioning. Practice would be when you're swimming.
Or doing the sessions with you, or is that not like the sessions they're doing currently in the minute? Where would that classify?
Well, if we go under gym, just put gym session for that.
Yeah.
And we know that's almost saying S&C.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
We'll class this. Practice is, you're practicing sport. Whatever sport you're playing, you're practicing that sport. Swimming. But it could be, if you're doing this, it could be that. And then school, etc. And then match is if you play match, or if you're at a gala.
Or you're a gala, or whatever. Yeah.
That's match. And then other is, what could be like you're going, out to the park, out playing.
Yeah, out in the garden doing.
It's physical, but you're not really sure what to call it.
So say, for example, like Evie Jones the other day felt like physically exhausted, like because she was helping painting throughout the day and up and down the stairs and up and down the ladders. She classified that as under others because it physically fatigued her. Yeah,
if it's something that, obviously you're not going to track everything you do, but if it's something that you felt have a little bit of an impact on how you feel and your fatigue, etc., then you can put that as other. Again, if you've got any questions about these, you're not sure where to put it, just send us an email and we can tell you or ask.
And then, so when they input that then goes on, so you can, or I could log on to it, see each individual.
And so essentially what comes up then is that will calculate. So on my phone, I have obviously the list of all the teams.
Yes, that you're a part of. Yeah.
And then on my main page, it tells me there's a section where I won't really show any names. I'll see if I can do it this way. That might work. Basically, it just shows me an awareness. There you go. That will work. There. Yep. Awareness. And then below that, it will give me a list of athletes and their work ratio that I need to be aware of.
Okay.
So
So if,
it will
if everything's
highlight
good and nothing's
if I
going
don't need
on,
to worry about it, we're good. Nothing will pop up. That's excellent. Unless I click on it, which I always do. I click to see what people are doing. You know, if they've been if they're training, the more regular they train, then obviously the more I need to be aware.
Yes.
But yeah, if they're at risk, essentially that will give me a ratio. And the ratio that will be highlighted on my phone. It'll pop up on my homepage. As soon as I log in, they'll be on my homepage. That'll be the athletes. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, why is this athlete highlighted? And then I'll click on it. Sometimes they've forgotten to log their sessions.
Okay.
That's why it's highlighted. That's why it's important to track your sessions. Because if you're doing, you know, you're doing a certain amount of sessions this week, and then all of a sudden you forgot to log 2 or 3 sessions the other week, that's going to highlight this guy's gone from 6 sessions to 3 sessions.
Yeah.
This is not normal. This is not good. Okay. There needs to be a
irregularity.
Yes. So it just tracks everything. Another thing is obviously the prediction of risk of injury. We know that if there's a spike in intensity, so if there's a spike in intensity, so typically with competition, this is very common. So you're training and then there's a spike. It's not up until like maybe the week after that spike that your risk of injury is greater.
Okay.
So for me, it's very important to understand that. And so if I see a spike, okay, there's been a spike. Why is there a spike? Blah, blah, blah. One doesn't really matter. I know there's a spike. Cool. The login has been perfect, so that's not an issue there. So now I need to monitor my training. Okay, if I don't change my training and keep pushing this person, they may be at a greater risk of injury.
Yeah, but in turn, because you know you can adapt and then reduce the risk of injury.
Yeah. So essentially, if they don't track and say, obviously I know if they got a dial, etc., I know because we communicate. But say if they got something external going on and they don't tell me about it, you know, and sometimes they may forget to tell me about it, but if they put it on their phone as soon as they're finished and they get in the habit of tracking every time they finish the session, it takes literally 30 seconds, boom.
Yeah,
done,
I was going to say, it's really quick and easy. It's just slides, click, and you're done.
Even
it's
less
just
than 30 seconds.
Yeah, just getting in the habit of it, isn't it? You do something, you know, you pick it, and let's face it, the majority of us, especially our older ones, have got their phones in their hands, you know, most of the day.
It just helps us, So we're not guessing. We're not like, you know, obviously we got the months, but like we can be more specific. You know, like I will know if you've been training a little bit. If you need to recover a little bit more, I'll know. Obviously, I'm not going to let this do all the work because I need to be aware of, you know, if I look at you and you look great and, you know, you look strong, you're fine, then, you know, maybe.
But it's just another tool, isn't it? It's another tool to help us provide better for the swimmers.
Just to provide a little bit more
awareness. Is there anything else before we kind of finish up you want to cover within the app? Or
No, I think we've pretty much
I think we've gone through it.
Everything.
If anybody does have questions, obviously you can email me or Rui directly, and then we'll try and make sure we answer these. But hopefully this has been a good way of you just understanding why we're doing it. You know, again, like everything we're doing, we're just trying to make everything better all the time. This is a difficult situation for everybody, but what we want to do is try and make sure that we're providing the best service for all of you and make sure your kids are safe, and the practices we're doing are going to make them better, but make sure that we're not risking anything. The more Rui knows, the more Rui understands. You know, we're really lucky to have him. You know, most clubs don't have someone of Rui's abilities and the depth that he cares about each of you. So it's really important that you try and help him out to try and provide for each of you the best that we can, to make sure that we're trying to put ourselves in the best position we can. So when we are back in the pool, that we've got a head start on other people, you know, because again, there's a lot of other clubs. I know there's another club in Norfolk that have picked up a strength and conditioning coach who've never met them and don't know the kids. You know, that's not good. We're lucky that we have this in place and that we're kind of running with it. So again, if you can try and get in the habit of logging as much as what you do as you can, it's really going to help Rui. We will email out and send out the invitation codes so that you can log into your appropriate squads, and then that can feed back to Rui. So hopefully you'll get that.
Can I just say as well how fortunate we are that we're in a position to be able to train, during this time, because If we weren't in this position, the coaching would start from scratch, and I would have to spend the majority of my sessions telling you how to do movements. Whereas as a club, you know, the awareness of strength and conditioning and how the body needs to be moving, and just training awareness in general, is at a level where we're almost as ready as we can be for something like this at this time.
I believe we're doing the best that
of,
we can with the situation, aren't we?
Yeah, and that's been a credit to everyone for you know, putting in the work in the S&C sessions, you know, attending, taking it all in.
The attendance has been really good. We're kind of averaging like 20 people a session and such, so it's really, really good. All right, cool. Thank you very much, Rui.